What if I told you that a weed growing in the cracks of your sidewalk right now carries more calcium than the glass of milk sitting in your refrigerator? Subscribe right now and hit the like button, because here we post new discoveries every single week about the plants your body was built to thrive on. Welcome to Hidden Ancient Harvest, where forgotten plant wisdom meets modern science. Most of us grew up with the posters, the commercials, the cheerful voices telling us that milk is the one and only path to strong bones, that without it, our skeletons would crumble into dust. But the truth is far older, far richer, and quietly growing all around you, in gardens, along streams, and even in the lawn you mow every weekend. Today, 20 plants that contain more calcium than milk, ranked from quietly surprising to absolutely astonishing. Stick around, because plant number 9 was once boiled by mountain healers and given to new mothers to recover their strength after childbirth. And plant number 16 is a tree leaf so powerful that humanitarian organizations have used it to fight hunger across the world. Let us get into it. Number 1. Kale. Let us start with one you may already have in your garden. Imagine walking through a frost-covered winter garden when everything else has given up and surrendered to the cold. One plant stands defiant, dark green and still producing. That is kale. A single cup of cooked kale delivers a meaningful amount of calcium. But here is what most people miss. It is not just the amount, it is how well your body can actually use it. Kale is very low in oxalates, the natural compounds that block calcium from being absorbed. That means the calcium in kale reaches your bones in a way that many other calcium sources simply cannot match. Our grandparents grew it in cold gardens because it survived the frost when nothing else would. They did not have nutrition charts. They understood through generations of experience that this tough, curly green kept families healthy through the hardest months. A light frost makes kale sweeter. This is not just a trendy vegetable. It is a foundation food that built strong bodies for centuries. Number 2. Collard greens. If kale opened the door, collard greens walk right through it. These broad, sturdy, deep green leaves have been a cornerstone of Southern American cooking for generations. And there is profound wisdom hiding inside that tradition. A single cooked cup of collard greens often matches or even exceeds a glass of milk in calcium content. Here is what most people miss. The families who depended on collard greens did not eat them by accident. They cooked them slowly over low heat, and they saved the rich cooking liquid, what they called pot liquor, the dark broth left in the pot after the greens had simmered. That liquid held the precious minerals that had leached out during cooking. They were capturing nutrition without ever reading a single label. Collards grow through both summer heat and winter frost, standing green in the snow when every other plant has surrendered. This is living proof that some of the healthiest food in America was born from hardship, from wisdom, and not from luxury. Number 3. Bok Choy. Now we travel across the world to a plant that has fed great civilizations for thousands of years. Bok choy, sometimes called Chinese cabbage, is light, crisp, and gentle on the stomach, yet it carries a surprising calcium punch. And here is where things get interesting. Like kale, bok choy is exceptionally low in oxalates. Studies on calcium absorption have shown that the calcium from bok choy can be absorbed by the human body at rates comparable to or even better than the calcium found in cow's milk itself. For centuries, it has been a daily presence in East Asian kitchens, valued long before anyone measured a single milligram in a laboratory. It grows remarkably quickly, even in cooler weather, ready to harvest in just a few short weeks. Many people walk right past bok choy in the grocery store, dismissing it as just a stir-fry vegetable. But this gentle grain is a quiet calcium hero hiding in plain sight. Number 4. Turnip greens. Here is something that will make you look at your garden in a completely different way. When most people grow turnips, they eat the round root and throw the leafy tops straight into the compost. They are tossing away the most nutritious part of the entire plant. Turnip greens are loaded with calcium, often delivering more per cooked cup than a tall glass of milk, along with a wealth of vitamins and minerals. Our great-grandparents understood the value of the whole plant in a way we have sadly forgotten. In a world where waste could mean real hunger by springtime, nothing edible was ever discarded carelessly. The leafy tops were simmered into steaming pots and served alongside cornbread on tables across rural America. The next time you grow turnips, remember, the real treasure might be the green tops you are about to throw away. Number 5. Watercress. Let us talk about a plant so astonishingly nutritious that it once topped scientific rankings of the most nutrient-dense foods on the entire planet. Watercress grows wild along clean, cool, flowing streams, and it has been treasured since the days of ancient Greece and Rome. Roman soldiers ate it, believing it gave them strength and clarity, and they were not entirely wrong. This delicate, peppery green carries a meaningful dose of highly absorbable calcium alongside a long list of vitamins. What makes watercress extraordinary is its sheer intensity. Gram for gram, it punches far above its small weight. For centuries, it was foraged freely from the wild, a free and abundant source of nutrition for anyone who knew where to look along the water's edge. It cost absolutely nothing and gave everything in return. Today, watercress has nearly vanished from American plates, replaced by blander, easier greens that ship well in plastic bags. But this ancient riverbank treasure deserves a real comeback. If you are starting to see the pattern, if you are realizing that some of the most powerful plants for strong bones have been growing in your garden, along quiet streams, and even scattered through your own lawn, do me a favor, hit the like button right now. It genuinely helps this video reach more people who love plants, natural living, and old wisdom that still works today. And if you have not subscribed yet, click subscribe and ring the bell. We are building something real at Hidden Ancient Harvest, and I would love to have you as part of it. Now let us keep going, because the next plants are where it gets truly extraordinary. Number 6. Stinging nettle. Do not let the name scare you away. Stinging nettle may sting sharply when you brush against it fresh in the wild, but once cooked or dried, it transforms completely into one of the most mineral-rich plants you could ever find. Nettle is remarkably high in calcium, iron, and magnesium. And in many old mountain traditions, nettle tea and hearty nettle soup were lovingly given to new mothers to help them recover their strength after the immense work of childbirth. Here is why that matters. When food was painfully scarce in the early days of spring, nettle was one of the very first green things to emerge from the cold ground, offering a precious burst of minerals exactly when people needed them most. One important note: always cook or fully dry nettle before eating to remove the sting. And if you are pregnant or taking medication, speak with a practitioner first. This plant defends itself fiercely with a sting, yet it nourishes the body more generously than almost anything else in the wild. Number 7. Dandelion greens. Here is one that will change how you see your own backyard forever. The dandelion, that bright yellow weed you have spent your whole life pulling and spraying, is in fact one of the most nutritious plants on the entire planet. Its jagged green leaves are rich in calcium, iron, and a host of vitamins, and people have eaten them gladly for thousands of years. Here is the part that should make you pause. Long before dandelions were ever considered a nuisance, they were brought to America deliberately by European settlers who carried their seeds across the ocean, valuing them as both food and medicine. Every single part of the plant was used: the deep roots, the cheerful flowers, the tender young leaves. Then America decided that a perfect weed-free green lawn was a symbol of success. We declared all-out war on the very plant our ancestors once treasured. We now poison and pull the calcium-rich green, growing completely free at our feet. The next time you spot a dandelion, remember, you may be looking at one of the most valuable plants in your entire yard.
Number 8. Amaranth leaves. You may have heard of amaranth as a tiny ancient grain, but its broad green leaves are a treasure all their own. Amaranth greens are exceptionally high in calcium, and this remarkable plant was once so sacred to the mighty Aztec civilization that it played a central role in their culture and ceremonies. While the tiny amaranth seed gets nearly all the attention today as a fashionable superfood, the nourishing leaves were eaten just as widely across Africa, Asia, and the Americas for countless generations. Here is the hidden chapter of this story. Amaranth was deliberately suppressed by European colonizers who recognized its cultural and ceremonial power to the Aztec people. They targeted the plant itself in an attempt to break a civilization's connection to its own food tradition. Yet Amaranth survived.
It is still quietly feeding the world today. It thrives in blazing heat when other greens wilt in the summer sun, making it one of the most resilient and necessary crops in a warming world. This is the hidden power of this plant. It survived centuries of deliberate suppression and still gives everything it has. Number 9. Bok Choy family, Chinese broccoli. Chinese broccoli, also known as gailan, looks quite different from the broccoli you know. It is leafier, with thick, tender stems and dark green leaves, and it holds a remarkable calcium secret. Studies on calcium absorption have shown that the calcium from this low oxalate green can be absorbed by the human body at rates comparable to or even better than milk itself. Our ancestors in Asia did not need that research. They simply knew, through generations of eating it, that this green made people feel strong and capable. Most Americans have never tasted Chinese broccoli even once, dismissing it as something unfamiliar. But this is the hidden power of this plant. It quietly bridges cultures and proves that strong bones have never truly depended on a single food, a single industry, or a single white carton in the refrigerator.
Number 10. Okra, figs, sesame, moringa, plus summary. And the list does not end there. Okra, carried across the ocean in the memories of enslaved Africans, is a good calcium source and thrives in blazing heat that destroys other crops. Dried figs, one of the oldest cultivated fruits in human history, mentioned in scripture, eaten by kings and farmers and weary travelers, concentrate their minerals through drying, making them a portable, calcium-rich snack your ancestors carried on every long journey. Sesame seeds, so small you barely notice them, are among the most calcium-dense foods by weight on Earth. 2 tablespoons of sesame contain more calcium than a glass of milk. Ancient civilizations pressed them into tahini and used them daily not as a condiment, but as medicine. Moringa, the tree leaf that humanitarian organizations have carried into hunger zones across Africa and Asia, contains gram for gram among the highest calcium concentrations of any plant on the planet. Ancient Indian, African, and Arabic healers called it the tree of life. Modern science has confirmed exactly why. None of these required a dairy industry. None required a refrigerator. All of them have been feeding strong bodies for thousands of years.
The secret was never a single magic food or an expensive supplement. It was a lifetime of simple, whole, traditional plants, eaten in modest amounts, many of them growing freely in your own backyard, right now. The calcium your bones need has always been growing in the earth. Ancient peoples never had a milk carton. They had a garden, a stream, and the wisdom to know what to eat from it. That wisdom is still available. Start with kale. Add collards to your weekly rotation. Let one dandelion grow instead of pulling it. Add sesame to everything. Seek moringa. Your bones will notice the difference long before any laboratory confirms it. Smash the like button if this video changed the way you think about calcium forever. Subscribe to Hidden Ancient Harvest. Every week we go deeper into the plants your body was designed to thrive on. Drop a comment below. Which plant surprised you most? Are you Team Dandelion, Team Turnip Greens, or Team Moringa? I read every single comment. The answers your bones have been waiting for were growing in your garden all along. I will see you in the next one.